Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can find me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to the live chat. We are within touching distance of the Batman. It's going to be available for us to go back again and again and watch it whenever we want. And what about The Flash? What is going on with that movie? Who are the villains? Who are the main players? Will there be a Justice League in the Flashpoint Earth? What is going on with Sasha Calle's Supergirl? Who is she? Is she a Flashpoint Supergirl? Is she replacing Flashpoint Superman? That's always been my theory. Come in and let's chat. We don't just have to talk about those films. The other DC films. Maybe there's something else you want to talk about in entertainment. Hit me up. Ask me questions. No spoilers for the Batman, of course. But talk. Tell me your perspective. How are you feeling? 80s Rewind, the times 90s. Hi, my friend. Hi, mate. How are you doing on this Sunday afternoon? It is 5 o'clock here in Cyprus. It's 3 o'clock in the UK. And God knows what time it is in America, India, and other places in the world. I thought I'd do my last video before Putin nukes us. He's a crazy man. So there's so much to talk about. There's so much to unpackage. So get in. 80s Rewind the times 90s. Just watched the cartoon Flashpoint with my son. He loved it. It's 10 a.m. over here. Yeah, the Flashpoint Paradox is a work of art. It is really so good. I think the Flashpoint movie is going to be very, very different. There is going to be changes to the graphic novel and to that animated movie. I think mainly they're using it to change the timeline. Good son. Hi, Mick. Hi, good son. How are you doing on this Sunday afternoon? Last night, I watched Batman Begins. This morning, I watched The Dark Knight. It's very interesting to get the perspective of those films and how different they are to what Matt Reeves has done. I mean, back in the day, they were gritty, dark movies. You look at them now, and I mean, I think once you've seen the Batman, they're actually quite light movies compared to what Reeves has done, which is really interesting. Slightly dated now as well. I still think Batman Begins, though, is an excellent movie. I really do. 80s Rewind, the times 90s. It's such a breath of fresh air listening to a DC YouTuber who knows his stuff. Do you know what? I mean, you know, I'm not the ultimate expert or anything. I'm just very passionate. I have my opinions. Yeah, you know, I know bits and pieces, of course, and I try and be as positive as I can, but it's glad to be appreciated. So thank you, 80s Rewind, the times 90s. The 80s and 90s were probably the best decades, weren't they? I mean, this is a shit time. This is a shit time, isn't it? Apart from our DC content and all the kind of amazing things we get in entertainment, but yeah. Man of Steel. Will we ever see a Man of Steel sequel? Will Batman versus Superman still be canon after Flashpoint? These are the questions that are still hovering over the DCEU fandom. Why is Fiora and Zod in the Flash movie? What are your theories? Will Robert Pattinson be the greatest Batman? There has been a review leaked. I read portions of it today on the DCEU Daily. 80s Rewind, the times 90s. You bring an excitement that I absolutely love. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I am genuinely excited. I love DC. I mean, you should have seen me when Smallville was on the TV. I was obsessed. And I remember, I wish I could talk to people about Smallville. My family and friends didn't watch it. And I wasn't on the internet back then. And I just wanted to talk to people about Smallville. That show was my whole life. Dewan Khatri, there's a rumor that David Zaslav talked with Chris Nolan and Zack Snyder. He has spoken to them, Dewan. He's definitely spoken to them. He wants Nolan back for sure. You know, Nolan's important in terms of an auteur, and the stuff he said about Jason Kilar was so blatant, wasn't it? It was so bad. But Chris was very upset. But then when I think about Chris Nolan and the film that he released with WB put that in cinemas in the peak of the pandemic. And I'd asked Christopher Nolan, you actually were sending people to cinemas and insisting they went during the peak of the pandemic. Wasn't that slightly irresponsible? I love my movies, but, people's lives and safety and health is a bit more important than Christopher Nolan having people in cinemas. Good son, great Mick. Can you, without spoiling, talk briefly about the emotionally in the Batman? And if you want to tell who's more emotional between the Batman and the Dark Knight. This is a very interesting thing. I think, look, the Dark Knight has very emotional elements, doesn't it? I don't think it gets emotional until Rachel dies. That's really the moment, a shocking moment of the movie when Rachel dies. And I mean, what Nolan did, and I was thinking about this today, because John Nolan, who is Christopher Nolan's brother, was involved with the Dark Knight trilogy. And I think about Man of Steel, which I love. But I think Man of Steel could have done with John Nolan being involved. John Nolan has got great quality. He also wrote Person of Interest with J.J. Abrams. So, yeah. And now what's more emotional? I think Batman Begins is more emotional than The Dark Knight. It really shows an emotional element to Bruce Wayne's story. I think that the Batman is more emotional. I think it is a more emotional tale because it really does dig into these elements of Bruce Wayne. And as I said on my non-spoiler review today, this is a guy who looks like he needs some vitamin D. I said vitamin C by mistake on the video, but vitamin C. He doesn't look like he's gone outside for a while. He looks so pale. He looks like a vampire. And, the consequences of seeing your parents murdered in front of you as a small boy is a very emotional thing. And they use that as a very emotional trigger for Bruce Wayne in the film. 80s Rewind at times 90s. I like the Dark Knight trilogy. It's just Bale to me was a better Bruce Wayne than a Batman. He had to lose his voice doing Batman voice. At first, I didn't mind the voice. It's only when people on the internet started saying, I noticed it. It's not the greatest of Batman voices, unfortunately. But I still think he's a great Batman, and he's Christian Bale has great qualities. Good son, I just knew it. Character deep dive. Oh, good son. It's a very deep dive. Every character is fleshed out to their very core. Good son, must be heartbreaking. Yes, it is in places, yeah. In Good Son, in the Batman. It's emotional. And you'll be surprised at times it's actually funny. I mean, Oz, the Penguin, he's funny in places, actually. His personality is kind of interesting. I like his little snigger. It's amazing, really, that Colin Farrell's playing that character. But isn't that what acting's about? Looking totally different and acting totally different to who you are in the real world and performing a character and putting a costume on. I mean, he's got the latex on, but it's amazing, really, why he wanted Colin rather than an actor who looked like how Colin looks like in the movie. It looks like he really wanted Colin Farrell. I'm so happy for Colin Farrell because he's done a lot of films, like he did the, what was that Arnie film they rebooted? Total Recall, a total flop. He's done a lot. I mean, one of my favourite films with Colin Farrell is Phone Booth. What a movie. 80s Rewind at times 90s. I'm a huge, huge fan of Batman 66. I love it. The Bright Knight, as they call Adam West. Can you share some of your Batman 66 memory, my friend? The first film I ever watched was Superman the movie. The second movie I watched was the Batman 66 movie. And I love that film, 80s Rewind at times 90s. It's so good. I like the fact that he's manipulated and seduced by Catwoman, Selena Kyle. And although I don't know she's Selena Kyle in that version, but she becomes this Russian, journalist, Miss Kitka. And the performance, actually, by the actor, I forgot his name now, but he was great. And when he realizes that Kitka is Catwoman and you see him, he's tearing up. I actually think it was a parody in a way. It was very goofy, but at times it really got in deep into the character of Robin and Batman. Duane Carty, Colin wants Penguin series to be rated R, or is it already decided to be rated R? Colin said he thinks. I'm sure he wants it to be, but he thinks it's going to be rated R. John, who's the better Catwoman, Michelle or Zoe? Oh, you're not going to make me choose. I'll never choose. Michelle is a great Selena Kyle and Catwoman, and Zoe's Zoe. But she's, Zoe is a modern interpretation. 80s rewind at times 90s. Frank Gorish really is a sadistic Riddler for the times in 1966. Oh, man, Frank was amazing, wasn't he? I mean, think about the actors they had. Burgess Meredith, from the Rocky movies, great Penguin. Cesar Romero was a great Joker. Have we ever had a bad Joker? I don't think so. The kid in Gotham, another great version of Joker. There's some rich history in live action for Batman. And I thought Gotham was a revolutionary story, telling the tale of the Rogues Gallery. But Frank Gorish was great. I mean, oh my God, that was a great show. We were very lucky. And we had, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies back then. But that was, I think, look, I've got the whole box set of that Batman series. It's amazing. They fucked over Batgirl a bit in that, but yeah, what can I say? There's that famous bit when she wants a pay rise. But yeah, I think the early series of the Batman 66 show was the best thing. And I think the Dick Grayson they had, he was so cool. 80s rewind at times 90s. I'm friends with Anne May. She's Burgess Meredith's, the Penguin's granddaughter. She looks just like him. Wow. That's awesome because Burgess was amazing. Of course, his greatest performance for me was as big Mickey Goldmill in the Rocky franchise. Wasn't he great? Good son, Mick, I have a cool question. Go on then, good son. I hope it's PG-13. Duane Curry, why are there no news from the Green Lantern series? It's in development. It's happening. It's a huge project. I think we'll get some updates on it very soon. But it looks like it's a huge show that they want to get right. But it will come. It will come. If not this year, the following year. And I think we'll get some news about a Green Lantern movie very soon as well. 80s rewind at times 90s. Burgess was amazing. I agree. In Rocky, yeah. What a performance. I mean, you've got to give it to Stallone casting Burgess Meredith as his trainer, Mickey. That was a great piece of casting. I mean, especially as raw as Sly was in the first movie. Thomas Shelby. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Hello, Thomas. Welcome to Movies TV Mad. I may not have the best audio. I may not have the best camera, but I put the passion. That's where the quality comes from. One of the things I'm really looking forward to for once the Batman is released is everyone's opinions on the movie. I am very interested how people see this movie. In the pantheon of live-action DC, live-action Batman, I think it's going to change everyone's opinions about Batman. Hardeep Singh, hello, man. Good to see you. Good to have you here, Hardeep. Welcome to the show. Will Henry Cavill be in the Flash movie? That's another interesting one, isn't it? Nobody knows. Get your comments in. What you got to say, what you're thinking today. Tomorrow, we will get the reactions. I don't think we'll get full reviews tomorrow, but we'll get reactions for the Batman. I think that's what's happening anyway. 80s rewind at times 90s. There's just so many DC movies this year. It's beyond exciting, yeah. I think one of the ones I'm looking forward to is the Batgirl movie. I think that's a very interesting project. Good son, cool question, me. What do you think people like Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, who don't like Marvel movies, will think if they see the Batman? It is interesting that they slaughter Marvel rather than DC. I think they're going to love it. I think, I think that what Matt's done, he's gone at this the way Dick Donner went at Superman the movie, getting really well-known actors to play this rogues gallery. And I mean, it's not that Robert Pattinson's not famous, but I think it was the kind of right type of fame for that character. I think they're going to love it. I think they're going to love it. Hardeep Singh, reading Deadline review of the Batman just gave me chills. Yeah, I didn't get to read the whole thing. I've seen portions, and it seems very positive. But we must wait to see what happens tomorrow. Joanne Cutcher, I'm also excited for the reviews and especially the reactions of people from the MCU. They will make many reasons to shit on it, of course. They're not used to good films, are they? Good son, exactly, Mick. And here comes a great marketing idea. 80s rewind times 90s. More and more I hear news or see photos of Batgirl, I get even more excited for it. And of course, it's exciting to get a live-action Batgirl, but we're getting Dick Grayson. Who thought that was coming? Old Walter Hamada is giving us everything. Just don't say that name in front of Ray Fisher. John, we should have got a Batgirl movie years ago. Yeah, do you know, there's so many characters that should have got a movie years ago, John. You can't just throw them all, I suppose. And when you start a franchise, you do want to start with Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Cyborg and The Flash. It's difficult, isn't it? But we're getting her now, which is great. Better late than never. I mean, that's the attitude I had at the beginning of the MCU. Where's Spider-Man? I thought, we've got to have a Spider-Man in the MCU. We've got one now. It's interesting. We still don't know the future plans for Spider-Man, do we? I think the marketing for the Batman has been excellent. I think Matt Reeves and the cast and everyone has been everywhere. But when the movie's released, that's when Matt is silent and he waits to see how much it makes and what people's opinions are on it. He's been very humble and said, let's wait and see if people want to see more of us. And I think that's a great way to do it. Amazing how different Matt is to someone like James Gunn. I would expect Matt to be doing some question and answer sessions on Twitter. Look out for that. 80s Rewinder times 90s. Andrew Garfield is my favourite Spider-Man. You can see he just loves playing that character. Yes, he reminds me of Rob Pattinson and how passionate he is about Batman. I do like Andy. He's a very talented actor and a great guy. But Tobey Maguire will always be my Spidey. John, I think Andrew's Spider-Man will be in Morbius and Venom 3. I think for sure there's a big future for Toby and Andy. But what's going on with Tom Holland? We don't know much about him. He keeps on changing what he says. He's got a future. He hasn't got a future. Wow. I think that Spider-Man No Way Home is his true origin movie going forward. Will Zendaya return? Imagine, right? Think about this for a minute. Imagine if Zendaya is cast as a younger Lois Lane in the Superman of Colour movie that J.J. Abrams is producing and Tanashi Coates is writing. Hardeep Singh, I know it's a tough question, but if you have a chance to build a DCEU, which movies do you want to see? What, from scratch? What movies would I want to see? Well, there's a lot of good characters in DC that have never been touched. I've got a soft spot for Plastic Man. I'd love to see him. But Hardeep Singh, Andrew Garfield is my fave Spider-Man. I think you've got to start a DC universe with Superman and Batman, haven't you? And Wonder Woman. I think you could start a DC extended universe with a Justice League movie from the very beginning. That's how you introduce the whole world and the characters. And then they get their movies afterwards. You don't actually have to give them all origins. They're there. Maybe a few flashbacks. I've always been tempted, if it was up to me, when people ask me that question, I maybe would have started with a Justice League movie. Good son, Mick, please give me a sec. I'm typing. I'm very patient. I've got other comments to read. Don't worry. 80s Rewind, the times 90s. Give me Booster Gold. Yeah, Booster Gold is a great one. Dr. Fate, from the moment I saw him in Smallville, I wanted him to get the big movie treatment. He is. And with Hawkman as well, when I saw him in Smallville, I thought, by the way, Michael Shanks was great. I'm excited to see him. Green Arrow deserves his movie appearance. Got a feeling that maybe Jensen Ackles could be Green Arrow. What? Do you remember that shit that was going on when Jensen Ackles announced he was producing a Supernatural spin-off, and Jared Padalecki got all out of, got really annoyed on Twitter? Ronnie Dodge. Hello, Ronnie. Hey, so looks like Michael Keaton is in 3 DCEU movies this year. Really? I mean, I suspect he's going to be in Aquaman, but what makes you say that, Ronnie? Tell us what you think. Duan Quattro, Mick, you skipped my question. Oh, did I? I'm very sorry, Duan. All you have to do is ask me again. I don't miss them out on purpose. John, I would like to see Clayface in the DCEU. Great villain, John. I also want to see Impulse from the Flash family. I also want to see the Flash Rogues Gallery. Maybe we'll see them in the Flash movie. They deserve the big movie treatment. I think they were handled pretty well in the series as well, by the way. I want to see Grant Gustin get his own movie. I mean, imagine this. How would you feel about this? If Ezra Miller version of the Flash is deleted and Grant Gustin becomes the main DCEU Flash after Flashpoint, how would you react to that? '80s Rewind times 90s. You enjoy the Suicide Squad movies. Which one you like better? Do you know what? I like the first one the best. I like James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. It's a great movie. But when I first saw the first Suicide Squad film, I was very happy with it. I love the opening sequence when Waller's going, Superman changed the world when he flew across the sky. This is a great dialogue, by the way. He changed it again when he didn't. Continuing straight off BVS and having Batman cameo. It was so good, especially that moment when Deadshot wants to kill him and his daughter stands in the way. I thought the Suicide Squad movie was really good. Ronnie Dodge, Batgirl has just got John Wick's 3 stunt coordinator, so I'm guessing for Dylan's Dick Grayson scenes. Yeah. So you see, Walter Hamada is throwing everything at this universe. I mean, it's very interesting how people think he's going to get the sack. But yeah, it's looking very exciting, Ronnie. Dwan Cartry, it was that if they have so much faith in Batgirl, it should have a theatrical release and HBO Max after 30 days. Well, what it is, Dwan, it's a bit difficult because they want to build up HBO Max as a place for the DC live action universe as well as the movie theater. So I think they looked at Batgirl and said, how much money is that going to make? But now with Keaton in it, it would have made a lot of money. I'm still not convinced, even with what Michael Uslan said, that that's going to be released on HBO Max. John, I would like that Grant is a great Flash. Yeah. Do you know what? If Grant replaced Ezra, I wouldn't be upset. We shall see. Anything is possible. Nobody's talking about that reality, that could happen. People are talking about Cavill being deleted, Affleck being deleted, but possibly you just don't know. I mean, it will be devastating for Ezra because he really does love the Flash and he loves playing the Flash. So it's not something I wish for. I don't want to see anyone deleted, really. Maybe no one will be deleted. It was just a question, I thought, bit of a mischievous question. But I think the fact that we saw Ezra Miller in Crisis on Infinite Earths means that Arrowverse is going to play a significant part in the future of the DC Extended Universe, and that's exciting. 80s Rewind times 90s. I agree, Grant is a great Flash. I believe in my heart he's in the Flash. Yes, he's definitely in the Flash because it's the continuation of what we saw in Crisis. You know, that was put up there for a reason. I mean, it was a huge thing. I think it's probably the greatest crossover I've ever seen anywhere. I think it was such a shock. No one saw it coming. And they pulled that off thanks to Ezra doing it for free and being happy to do it and wanting to do extra scenes in it. And being a bit disappointed it wasn't a long enough scene. So Ezra is a madman, and I love him. And I like the fact he was mocking Affleck leaving after the Flash movie. That was interesting on his Instagram. But Grant is great. Grant was the, for me, because I don't remember John Wesley's ship. I am hearing he will be in the Flash also. But yeah, I love John Wesley's ship, especially in Arrowverse. But I think the Arrow version of Flash is the one we remember, and he's got that gee whiz quality on a TV budget as well. He's been absolutely fantastic, even in the lesser eras of the Flash series that haven't been as good as the early seasons. So he's always been great, by the way. The issue has never been with Grant Gustin. Never. And I think they've got a great cast in the Flash show. I actually do. I actually like the current cast. I think they're great. I mean, we're lucky. We've had a live-action Flash series, a live-action Green Arrow series, a Supergirl series, not the greatest, but still. Hardeep Singh, give us a quick review of Superman Returns, starring Brandon, directed by Bryan Singer. I only saw that movie once. Superman Returns, when that film was being marketed, I'm a big Superman stan. He's my character. I was buzzing for the movie. What we saw from the movie in trailers looked sensational because he used that Genesis camera for the first time. Nobody had used it before. The magazines were all for it. I was excited that it was the continuation of the Donnaverse, and they were using the John Williams theme. 80s Rewind to times 90s. John Wesley's ship, The Flash Show, was good. Just got a terrible ending. I've never seen it. John, how do you think they will deal with the cyborg situation in a Flash movie? Recast or use the guy from Doom Patrol, probably. Something like that. Imagine if they CGI Fisher in. That would, he'd go absolutely mental, wouldn't it? It'd be funny to see his reaction, though. So Superman Returns is, I think, a great Superman movie. Not for everyone. Now, really, the mistake they made was deleting the Return to Krypton sequence. They should have actually had that pre-credits, because the actual credits is Superman traveling back to Earth in the ship. So I don't know if you've seen the Return to Krypton sequence. That took away some of the narrative. But the film's very good. It's about returning and the world changing. Not the same world that you knew. Lois Lane is with somebody else. She's got a kid, and who ends up being Superman's kid. Obviously, it lacked action. It was having Lex Luthor as the main enemy because they took that from Superman the movie. Singer didn't really know what he wanted, a new direction or to continue what they did in the Dick Donner version. And I think that's where he tripped up. But as a film, I think it's a very significant and huge film and a highly underrated film. Elements of the CGI at times weren't great. The aeroplane crash was sensational. I think it was great. And I think really it actually had a really beautiful third act as well. So I really enjoyed it. 80s Rewind to times 90s. I enjoy the old Superman movies. Just Quest for Peace is a little hard to watch. Do you know what? There are some good moments when he talks to the United Nations. I think that's very emotional. And the idea of him trying to rid the world of nuclear weapons. If they'd actually put more money into it, it could have been a great movie. But I don't mind watching it now and again. Anti-Darkseid. Is the version of Bruce Wayne in the Batman more likable than the usual Playboy approach to the character? Yeah, I don't really like the Playboy element. And I'm glad that Matt's kind of done away with it. I prefer this kind of gritty version, emotional version. Akman Heikel, hey movies TV man, let's Flash talk. Okay, let's do it. Hardeep Singh, they are definitely going to canon Doom Patrol showing the Flash movie, because if Grant Gustin can show from a CW, why not? Imagine, right, if Firefly, right, who's played by Brendan Fraser, is in Batgirl, and then the Doom Patrol character that he plays turns up as well. That would be fun. And this is the beauty, isn't it? But Doom Patrol is probably one of my favourite comic book television shows of all time. And I'm a big Smallville stan. I think that show is amazing and better than anything that the MCU are doing over on Disney+. I think the best Marvel show away from Daredevil is probably Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially the first season. But there's a lot of exciting stuff coming in the Flash movie for sure. John, Kevin Spacey was a great Lex in Superman Returns. Yes, he was. He was a great Lex. He even admitted that he took the version of Michael Rosenbaum a little bit and was inspired by that version to make him a little bit darker. He's supposed to be Gene Hackman's Lex, but a little bit unrecognizable to that version as far as I'm concerned. But he was a great Lex Luthor. I don't think it was as funny as they wanted it to be. They tried to make it funny. The jokes didn't sit, but I enjoyed the movie. Duane Cartry, I think WB marketed the Batman brilliantly. First with teaser, then awesome trailer, then comic book, and then all the interviews and the main theme. Yeah. It's one of those movies that's marketed itself in a lot of ways, but the marketing from the studio has been great. 80s rewind the times 90s. I got to head out, my friend. Everyone have a DC day. You too. 80s rewind times 90s. Thank you for being on board. If you haven't liked the video already, please smash a like if you want. Ahmed Hickow, having two Barrys show up in the trailer. What are your thoughts about the other Barry? Well, before I did this video, actually, I watched Emergency Awesome talking about that trailer. And actually, looking back at that trailer, it's a lot more significant and full of clues, a lot more than people think. I like the narration from Michael Keaton. You can go anywhere, travel to any reality. Why do you want to save this one? I love that line. It's great. I love the fact he's just about to reveal the Batmobile as well. That's great. We see these two versions of Barry Allen. I think Emergency Awesome actually made a great point. Maybe the other version from Flashpoint can't accept the reality of his mum, and he keeps on going back and changing things. Maybe he's the actual problem, not our Barry from Earth 1. But it's a great trailer to study, and I thought it was a great teaser trailer. It really got me excited. And also, I think that Ezra Miller will get a lot of kudos for performing two versions of his character. I think that's a really hard task for an actor. 80s rewind, the times 90s. The only problem I have with giving you a like is I can't give you 5 likes, lol. Take care, bud. Yeah, that's a shame. Get more devices. But see you soon. Good son, Mick, the greatest marketing idea can make the Batman one of the highest grossing ever. If Reeves screens the Batman in front of Scorsese, David Fincher, Nolan, and maybe Coppola, and after they praise it, that would be awesome, good son. Hardip Singh, yes, specifically Cyborg character in that show is my fave. Yes, I think he's really good. He had that comic accuracy from outside. He's very cool, but inside very emotional and touching. I prefer his version rather than Ray Fisher. It's interesting because Fisher's version is very good, but I understand where you're coming from with the Doom Patrol version. I'd like to see him be part of the Justice League in Earth 1. Good son. Then they spread billboards with the words praising, get spread all over America and the world. That would be crazy. And that's why I asked you that question. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that was a great idea. Hikari, someone just said you were lying that you watched the Batman since you posted a review. Why the review embargo is still tomorrow? I didn't give a spoiler review, Hikari. I just gave a non-spoiler review. So I'm allowed to talk about the film as long as I don't give any spoilers. That's it. I'm not an official person. I just gave my thoughts on the film. If people think I'm lying, they can think I'm lying. I'm not going to waste my energy on people making silly accusations. I know I saw the film. I have no reason to lie about it. And that's life, really, Hikari. No one has to believe I saw the movie, but I did. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see it again. Now, personally, if people believe I haven't seen the movie, why are you watching my channel? All you have to do is flick off and never deal with me again if you think I'm a liar. It really is that simple. And believe you me, I won't lose any sleep over it, because if people want to come in on you, why are they bothering following you? Ahmed Hicko, so you think that the villain of this movie is Barry, who can't accept the fact that his mum died? That could be one of the elements of the movie. Duane Cartry, how many people were with you in the screening? Well, I didn't count, but it was a full house, I can tell you that. Hot Takes Tuesdays. I think Flash is going to be the best DC movie this year. Yeah, it's such a fascinating thing to think about, isn't it, Hot Takes Tuesdays? Because it's such a huge movie for so many reasons. But this is the first Flash movie. And if what Snyder did with the character in the Snyder Cut is anything to go by, and they're using his VFX team, I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. A lot of responsibility and pressure for Andy Muschietti, but I think he's going to nail it and pull it off. The only reason people get offended that I've seen the Batman is because they see a YouTuber who doesn't use, the greatest of tech to do videos, doesn't have a big following, and you think, why would you be able to go and see the Batman? And that's where your mistake is from the beginning. Just because I don't brag about my connections, just because I don't go on about knowing this one or that one, and just because I'm not successful, it doesn't mean anything. Hardeep Singh, I know I am late, but goddamn, just finished Harley Quinn animated show. I think one of the best DC shows. It's great. I like when DC does that only DC can. John, what are your thoughts on the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser? Great, especially the first two. The first two are brilliant. They kind of wanted to do a kind of an Indiana Jones thing, didn't they? Brendan was amazing. He really was. Great cast too. Ahmed Hikal, Flash success, DC continues Flash. Fails, DC dies. Probably, Ahmed, if it does fail, then Matt Reeves gets the keys to the kingdom, which isn't a bad thing either. We can't lose. Isaac makes edits. I can't wait to see the Batman. You're in for a treat. Everyone is. And I can't wait to go to the cinema and relive that movie. It's a huge moment for DC. It really is. And well done for bringing in Matt Reeves into our universe. I never feed hatred. I never sit there if someone says something about me. I'm not interested. It doesn't bother me. You can say what you like about me. I'm here to talk about what I love talking about. That's it. I'm not here to, because it's weird. It's weird. Maybe some people's lives are not very good and they're a bit angry and bitter. And if it makes them feel better to attack me, hey, maybe I can help. But maybe if I'm helping you, forget about your lives. Maybe that's a good thing. Isaac makes edits. Will you be making an in-depth review of the movie? Oh, definitely. And I'm going to leave it a week or so because I want everyone to go out there and enjoy it before I do it. But I will be doing that for sure. I think I'll probably want to see it another 2 or 3 times to do that. Because I really want to get it all straight in my mind. Hikari, only 2 days to go for the Batman. Can't wait, lol. Yes. It's exciting, Hikari. Let's be excited. Let's be positive. John, how much action is in the Batman? A lot. But it's also balanced out with the emotional element and the character development as well. There's some beautiful, quiet moments in the film as well, which I appreciate. Harris Selick, I'm worried about the Flash. No need to. Good son, got to go, Mick. Talk to you later. See you later, good son. Thank you for dropping in. If you haven't smashed the like, please smash a like on the video before you go, if you want, of course. Isaac makes edits. How are the camera equipments coming along? Well, I bought a camera, and unfortunately, I can't connect it to my laptop. It's an HD camera, but unfortunately, this fucking laptop hasn't got the connection. So now I have to buy an adapter and I have to work out what adapter I can use. It's annoying. Ahmed Hikal, got to be honest, didn't like Flash, Zack Snyder's VFX. While he's running and the lightning, the way it comes out, is not comic book accurate. Your thoughts? Well, it may not be comic book accurate, and I mean, difficult to be comic book accurate with things like that. But I did like the VFX for it. I thought it was sensational. No one does VFX like Zack Snyder, of course. Ahmed Hikal, that's just my opinion. I think the Flash movie will be a lot more comic book accurate, though, so that's something exciting. It's all going to be okay. Just wait and see. Abba Hicko, do you think Andy will have his own VFX? Well, I think, yeah, he's not going to use... Look, I suppose it will have to continue, it kind of have some continuity to it, but I think, yeah, it will be slightly different for sure. Thunder asks, oh, God, Hack Snyder ruined DC reputation, Nolan build man. Oh, dear. I should have really noticed from the name. I don't think Zack Snyder ruined DC at all. I think Zack Snyder is a pioneer, and he's not for everyone, of course. But yeah, calling people names isn't great. I think we can constructively criticize people without calling them names. Vendon Singh, are there post-credits in the Batman? I didn't see any post-credits, but I'm being told in the theatrical version you should stay right to the end of the credits. That's what I've been told. Apparently there's a surprise. So stay right to the end. Jonathan Sherrick, so hyped for the Batman. Aren't we all, Jonathan? Exciting times, eh? John, do you like the new Flash suit? I love it. I think it's fantastic. Got the gold boots, just like Grant's has. Maybe in the Flash movie, Grant and Ezra will have a bit of a humorous moment comparing their gold boots. That'll be fun. Why is Batman such a popular character? What do you think? He's just so awesome, isn't he? Why? Why is he so awesome? Ahmed Hikal, the Flash is the eccentric main character. Hope they remember that. Keep that in mind, Andy. Yeah, I think they have. I think he's the central character of the movie, but we're going to see a lot of characters from DC in this movie, and that's exciting too. Hikari, just wish that they reduced Flash's lightning in the movie. I must say that never was a problem to me, but there you go. It's a bit different when you're putting something in live action through comic books. It's difficult. It's difficult to replicate, isn't it? It's like saying, well, I prefer the way Superman flies in the comics to how he flies in live action. Well, he's going to fly differently in a drawn picture, isn't it? Jonathan Sharak, how's the pacing for the Batman? Fantastic. You won't even notice it's just under 3 hours. Just my opinion, of course. Ultimately, it's for you to go and see the film and make your own decisions. People can keep on telling you how great it is, or, you know, Jonathan Sharak, great news. Yeah, definitely. But ultimately, everyone, when you eat a piece of food or a cake, one person may love that cake, another person may not like that cake. So it's important for people to, you know, to make their own minds up. Then let's see, is Barry Coogan in there in the movie? In fact, Matt Reeves has already confirmed that. So Android 118 XX. Gino Carlo Espolo will be perfect as Lucius Fox. Has perfect for Matt's casting choice and this Batman world. Yeah, I do like him. I do like Giancarlo. I think he's a great actor. He's been in loads of things, hasn't he, in the past 5 years? A very good actor. And I think you've got a point there. Ahmed Hikal, the point is I didn't feel Flash's speed in Zack Snyder's Justice League because every time he runs, it's slow motion and the lightning. Well, the slow motion is to show you how fast he is. I know, because how? Because if he's just a flash, like in the TV show, it's a bit difficult to appreciate. But I think the way he does it is really cool. But again, that's just my opinion. Hardeep Singh, Batman is more human than any superhero. He had no superhuman power. Batman born in pain. That's why he's relatable. That's why he's one of the most popular. Yeah, he's a sensational character and he's a great idea. I mean, I still don't know how they came up with the idea of him being a Batman, but it's awesome. Hikari, I think that they should have done for the Flash is like Shazam's super speed with a bit of lightning. Ah, well, maybe we'll get that in the movie. Verdant Singh, true. But, you know, with things like this, I just think it's nitpicks, isn't it? It's not, for me, these are not deal breakers. But, I mean, I don't have strong opinions about how much lightning should be, and I appreciate that you do. But we'll see what happens in Andy's movie now. Zack Snyder does like slow motion, for sure. Android 118 XX, I was really disappointed when they changed the Flash Lightning to blue color. Flash Yellow Lightning is iconic like Superman's S symbol. You're talking about for the Flash movie? Because I don't really know what color they're doing it in that movie. Although I thought there is yellow in the Flash movie. I don't know. Again, these are important things to deeper fans. For me, it's not relevant to me, but I understand if it's relevant to other people. Ahmed Hicko, I hope not every scene is slow motion in the Flash movie. If they balance this out, it's going to be great. Maybe he's not slow. There's no slow motion in this version. Maybe Andy's gone out to speed a little bit different. So, and I think that could be the case. Just because Zach did that doesn't mean Andy's going to do it. Hikari, the following months can't wait enough, lol. I already want to watch Black Adam and Flash. Yeah, Black Adam is going to be a great movie with the Justice Society of America. What a great idea that was to introduce them. J. Ben, Android, the new Lightning is yellow for the new Flash movie. That's what I thought. Balcanator, when do you think Shazam will meet the Justice League? Maybe in the Flash. Who knows? Maybe in Fury of the Gods. Android 118 XX, will you be at Black Adam's early screening? I'm not sure right now. I'd like to be, but I don't know. I don't know about that, to be honest with you. There have been, I think, some test screenings already. And the feedback from it was interesting. People definitely like the action. Ahmed Hikal, speed VFX is hard to make. It uses a lot of imagination and creativity. Jebin, how do you get into an early screening? You apply. Hardeep Singh, I really don't care about how good a suit is, what type of color of the lightning they use. I just want a good movie with great story. What you say, man? Yes, exactly. The movie has to be good. The characters have to be great, and it has to work as a film, and they're the most important things. I mean, the suit is important to a point, but the film and the quality of the film, to me, is the most important thing. I mean, people get carried away about movie posters. It's something that just doesn't affect me. I don't think the posters are important. It's good to see a good poster, of course, but some people get, carried away. Venom Singh, can you tell us something about the Penguin car chase scene in the Batman? Well, you've seen a lot of that scene already, haven't you? But basically, it really is phenomenal. It is a sensational moment because it's all on emotion and the will from the Batman, to catch him up and to get him. And I love that about that movie. Balconator, even if it's a Flash movie, both Batmans can get more screen time. Imo. They won't get more screen time than the Flash, but we all know that in the Flashpoint graphic novel, we have Flashpoint Batman and we also have the main Batman. So there's two Batmans in the comic book story as well. Broken Gaza Mania. Can't wait to see Michael Keaton again in the Flash movie. He was awesome as Vulture, still brilliant, a great actor. He's going to be great as Batman. And I think he's very excited about it. Yeah, Keaton's still got great quality. You can't tell he's 70 years old by looking at him. It's amazing. A great idea to bring him back as Bats, and I'm really excited for it. I mean, what a treat. What a treat this is going to be. Vickers Patnick, I hope Henry Cavill is still Superman in the DCEU. You and me both Vickers. I really hope, fingers crossed, we see him sooner rather than later. Creation K, hey man. How you doing? Android 118XX, would you want a Green Lantern movie? If so, who would be your ideal director of the movie? I would want Jeff Johns to be involved with the project because he made really good Green Lantern comics. Yes, he definitely knows the elements of the graphic novel so well. Who could direct such a film as Green Lantern? Because that would be effects heavy. Well, there's a lot of good directors out there who could do a great job. It will be interesting. I mean, they were even banding about David Goyer for that movie. I don't think that would have been the best choice because I think there's better directors and really good. And I think you have to be proficient with the CGI with a movie like that as well. Creation K, hope you're having a great Sunday. I am, thank you. Balconator, I hope to see different Batsuit from Ben Affleck. You will in the Batman. Broken Gazmania, yeah, it's a great treat for the fans. Agreed. Ibrahim Farouk, have the Batman TV spots, trailers and clips shown too much of the movie in your opinion? Nope. Creation K, keeping well, thank you. Hope you are well too. Vickers Panic, hey man, congratulations for your amazing work. One suggestion to you, would you be able to improve your camera quality? Well, that's the plan, my friend. I bought a camera, I just can't connect it to the laptop. I've actually got an HD camera. I don't have the connections, I'm afraid. So one day in the future, I will try and do that. I want to do that. It's difficult when you don't know what you're fucking doing. Vendon Singh, cinematography looks good in the Batman. It certainly is good. Great. Balconator, do you think the Batman is Oscars worthy? Oh, fucking hell, yeah, definitely. It's a work of art. Android 118XX, James Gunn will be an interesting choice to direct a Green Lantern movie. I did mention it to him on Twitter. He did like it. I did suggest Robert Downey Jr. as, what's his name? The main Green Lantern, an older version of Hal Jordan. And he liked that. So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I think James Gunn can have anything he wants at DC. It'll be interesting. Very interesting. I definitely think his future is at DC and not Marvel after Guardians, that's for sure. And I've been saying that for a very long time. John, I did not know that Margot Robbie was doing a Pirates movie. Yep, a Pirates movie which they're not talking about anymore, and a fucking Barbie movie. Yep, she's gone nuts. Vickers Patnack, do you have any DCEU exclusive news for us? No, nothing I want to let out the bag right now, Vickers Patnack, because these things have to be ratified and verified. There's a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to start spilling rumors because it's not fair. Broken Gaza Mania. Are we getting a Joker sequel? I don't think, listen, I don't think it's a sequel, my friend. I think it's the next one. It's the next movie. I think we're going to get Harley Quinn in the next movie, and I think Joaquin Phoenix will play a part in that movie. Hardip Singh, the Flashpoint storyline is a point of view story. Keeping Barry as main character, I think the Flash movie is about Barry, because Andy mentioned in DC Fandom that he's going to make him an emotional movie. Exactly. Creation K, here's the deal. Book tickets for the Batman. And as I was doing it, I looked at the cast list on Google. Guess what? Barry Coogan appears. Facepalm. Who let that dog out, eh? Well, Matt Reeves has actually confirmed now in an interview that Barry's in the movie. But I wouldn't get over-focused about Barry too much. You may be disappointed. But he's there. It could be who you all want it to be. It might be another character. So be aware. But Matt Reeves has mentioned even that there's a deleted scene of Barry in the movie. So they've deleted one scene. He was supposed to be in 2 scenes. So Broken Gaza Mania. Cool. I've not had a chance to look into. I love Joker, though. What a great movie. One of the great CBMs as far as I'm concerned. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. You know, I mean, casting decisions like that. Balconator. Joaquin Phoenix Joker really fits the Batman Matt Reeves verse. I agree. Too bad he's probably 70 years old by the time Bruce Wayne became Batman, lol. Yeah, well, I suppose if we can have a 70-year-old Batman in the DCEU, we can have a 70-year-old Joker. Interesting, though. Creation K, sorry, I didn't mean for my comment to be a tongue twister. Oh, that's quite all right, Creation K. I can handle it. I don't mind anything. The only thing I don't like is rudeness. I don't like bad manners. Because life's simple to me. If you like someone, you get on with them, you come in on their stuff, and we can have a chat. If you don't like someone, you just go away. It's easy for me. People on social media don't really get that, though, do they? We're reaching the 1 hour mark on this live video. What are you so excited about? What is the thing that's motivating you about DC live action? Android 180 XX, for me, the Batverse would focus only on Batman for the first 3 movies and introduce the Bat family in the 4th Batman movie and beyond, because Batman will be perfect position to be a mentor. Hashling me, why would he delete the scene? It is cool, the scene between the Riddler and Coogan in Arkham. So he's deleted one scene, but there's another scene in the movie, and that's what Matt said. Hash being me, why would Balconator, Scarecrow is one of the villains that fit the Matt Reeves verse. He uses the horror element. That's true, very true. But there's so many characters they're wishing for. I mean, Jeffrey Wright wants to see brand new original villains, so that's an interesting idea as well. Hadim Singh, how do you rate the Batman movie? You think a Batman comic book fan like me satisfied by this movie? Because hearing the soundtrack remind me Batman the animated. I think I'm going to cry in the theatre. Basically, he's taken lots of elements from the early days of Batman graphic novels and comics. I think any Batman fan, this film is made by a Batman stan for Batman stans. Hashley and me, I want to see a Professor Pig too. Who knows? As I say, everyone has a different wish. And not everyone's wishes will come true immediately. So Matt's got a hard job to do, hasn't he? Creation Case, hard to say. On one hand, the Reeves verse has potential to be a well-made series of films. On the other hand, films like Aquaman and Shazam just seem off quality in comparison. A mixed bag at the moment. Well, if you don't like Aquaman and Shazam, which I don't agree with, I think they're both great movies, by the way, and I don't think the quality is not very good. But that's the point, isn't it, Creation K? you know, Aquaman and Shazam, if they're not for you, are on one Earth, on one universe, and the Batman is in Earth 2. So one thing has nothing to do with the other. So it's cool. You can take or leave wherever you want. Balconator, how do you think can Matt Reeves bring villains like Clayface on a realistic version of Batman? Well, I think if you've got the talent like Matt does, you can make that possible. I think Clayface could be get a good version. He even talked about one day introducing Superman, as long as he's the only superpowered being. GMM, is Paul Dano Riddler as good as Heath Ledger's Joker? Absolutely, for different reasons. Broken Gaza Mania, Shazam was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Jira M, is Paul Dano Riddler as good as Heath Ledger's Joker? Definitely. I mean, Heath Ledger was sensational, wasn't he? He really was. No one expected that from him. So good. And I think Nolan had a very interesting take on the Joker as well. I like the bit in The Dark Knight when he's blowing up the hospital and he keeps on pressing the trigger and it won't go off. And all of a sudden it starts exploding and he starts running away. I thought that was hilarious. Hashtag me, will the Batman get nominated in Oscar? One nominations, if I may ask. Best Director, lots of Best Actor nods, I think, because there's a lot of contenders in that film. Things like that. Vernon Singh, who are those thugs in the Batman? Are those Joker goons? Hardeep Singh, I disagree with Creation Gate because that's where multiverse comes to play. You can enjoy Matt Reeves' Batverse on Earth 2 and DCEU in Earth Prime, exactly. But if you don't like the stuff in Earth Prime, that's fine. Just embrace Matt Reeves' Earth. That's the beauty of the multiverse, isn't it? Balconator, in your opinion, who is your favourite Bruce Wayne? Not Batman, but Bruce Wayne. Oh, that's an interesting one. Do you know what? I think I'd say Christian Bale in Batman Begins for sure. Android 118 XX. If Court of Owls happens, it will be cool to see Owlman and a fight between him and Batman. That would be fucking epic, wouldn't it? You never know. Anything's possible in this game. What are you? I'm Batman. But no one says I'm Batman like Michael Keaton. I still think Batman 89, and I'm not comparing it with the Batman, but pre the Batman, I think that is the GOAT. Broken Gaza Mania. Bale for me, then Keaton for Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I think they're great Bruce Waynes. I really do. I think Keaton did a great job. I think in terms of Keaton's casting, Tim Burton said, listen, I've worked with this guy before. I trust him. We can work well together in this. And I think that was the point. A big project like that, you need as many people on your side as possible. And Michael Keaton was certainly on his side. HCTC PCC. Can Paul Dano be nominated for Oscar for the Riddler? Love your work. Thank you. Yes, I think it's an Oscar-worthy nominated performance for sure. It's great. Why not? Paul Dano's always had great quality, by the way. It's not a new thing for people who have seen him before. Stay right there. I'm just going to put my heater on because I'm freezing. As none of you are going to make me a cup of tea, I think Paul Dano is the favourite from that film to be nominated for an Oscar. Creation K, Hardeep Singh, thumbs up. Balconator, for me, Ben Affleck is the best Batman. Not the best written, but the best looking. A really great, accurate Batman. I'll probably change that when the Batman comes out. It's interesting, isn't it? Because when I look at Batman, I can't pick one out and say he's better than this one. I think they've all got that, that quality, and they're all rightly cast, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, not George Clooney, obviously. That's a different conversation. Ashleen me. Out of topic. Do you watch football games? If so, what team do you support? I do watch football and I support Manchester United. Android 118XX. Do you think it was a good idea from Zack to introduce an older Batman in the DCEU? Personally, I don't think it was a good idea. I'm going to get back to that question, Android, very quickly. I'm just going to read this comment. Hardip Singh, the Batman movie, by the look of trailers, reminded me Zero Year New 52 Scott Snyder run. I have very mixed feelings about the comic because in the end of the 0 year, comic Riddler floods Gotham. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the New 52, but I wouldn't worry about it. You're worrying about nothing. Right. Let me tell you my opinion about Zack Snyder's Batman. That older Batman should have been in his own trilogy away from the DCEU, a bit like what they're doing with Matt Reeves, right? Do, The Dark Knight Returns. Do 2 parts or 3 parts, right? Do that with Ben Affleck. Introducing an older Batman, a worn-out Batman, in a brand new franchise where you're trying to capture the mainstream audience and people who don't know Batman, it's not an easy thing to accept that version. So I love Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne and Batman, but he should have had a self-contained trilogy. That would have been a lot more interesting. Snyder is obsessed with The Dark Knight Returns. Why not just adapt it, right? I mean, I don't understand where the thinking was. Balcanator, building the Batman kite, how the MCU built the Iron Man from the beginning is a more interesting way to introduce the DCEU. They could also do that to Superman and Wonder Woman. Creation K, part 1 of 2. To answer your question, what I'm looking forward to seeing the Batman, but more specifically, how the movie deals with the main concern I have for it. And what is that concern? Vendan Singh, does Gil Coulson die in the movie? Oh, as I'm going to tell you that. Why would you want to know? Why would you want the movie spot for you, Vendan Singh? That's going to spoil it for you. Go in there fresh. It's all right, I'm cold. I'm really cold. My heater's broken. My central heating's broken. So I'm using a crap portable heater. It's a very big house. It's very damp. Balcanator, will you do a spoiler review right after release? I will wait. I will wait for at least a week. First of all, I want to see it a couple of times before I want to do a really professional spoiler review for everyone. So I want to see it a couple more times as well. But it will be done. Broken Gazamania. I'm looking forward to seeing the Batman and seeing how Robert Pattinson plays it, and seeing the cool characters. Yeah, you're in for a treat. You're all in for a treat. That's all I'm going to say to you. You're going to really appreciate the fact that you're going cold and you don't know nothing about the movie, because you don't know nothing about the movie, even if you think you do. I went in thinking I knew it all. I thought, yeah, that. Someone said there's a drop the mic moment. Yeah, nothing's going to surprise me. I was fucking surprised throughout the movie. I mean, if you go back to my movie where I spoke about seeing it and how excited I was and how shell-shocked I was, you can tell. Creation K Part 2. My concern is that this Batman adaptation See him channel his rage rather than overcome it, channeling the discipline instead. I believe when Batman excels is when he overcomes hate. I think what you're going to see is someone who is angry, but I also believe you will see the thing that you want to see in this movie. You have nothing to worry about. Hardeep Singh, if I'm not wrong, after Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, WB hired Zack and they want the success of Avengers 2012. Then Zack planned trilogies. Don't think Zack is guilty. Well, to be fair, it wasn't WB's idea to bring in Zack Snyder. It was Christopher Nolan's idea. Nolan was running things really because of the success of the Dark Knight trilogy. It was his idea to bring in Snyder. If you bring in Snyder to do something self-contained of his own, he's a genius, but he's never going to bring in the mainstream audience. That's the problem. Balconator, will Matt Reeves direct the HBO Max spin-offs? No. Broken Gaza Mania. I've stayed away from most trailers, etc., apart from the original trailer. I saw that. Yeah, I mean, before I saw it, I saw loads of kind of, not trailers, TV spots, things like that. And I was surprised how much it doesn't give you. Creation K, thanks for that, man. Android 118XX, so much potential and ideas you could have in the Batverse. I'm thinking of Owlman and Deathstroke teaming up to beat Batman. It would look so great on the big screen. I'm still gutted that Ben Affleck's the Batman probably won't ever happen. That was going to be a fucking awesome movie. And they should have let everything play out in the Snyderverse. It's not fair. But WB wanted that movie to happen. They wanted Matt Reeves to direct that movie. So that says a lot. Ben Affleck didn't feel he could direct that movie and star in that movie in the end because of his problems. And they wanted Matt Reeves to do that. But Matt Reeves didn't want to do that. He wanted to do his own thing, which is really understandable. But I think Ben Affleck's story would have been great. So it's interesting. You hear people saying WB did this to Ben, blah, blah, blah. They offered his script to Matt Reeves. So they wanted it done. That's where the internet's full of shit sometimes, isn't it? Android 18XX. So whose fault is it that the Batfleck movie did not happen? Well, I don't like aligning fault. I mean, because you're talking about a man who has mental health issues, who suffers with alcoholism. Once you're an alcoholic, even if you're a recovering alcoholic. He didn't want to direct the movie. He didn't feel he could. So Warner Brothers wanted that movie made. They liked the idea of it. Jeff Johns worked really hard with Ben on it. And they wanted Matt Reeves to do it. And Matt Reeves didn't want to do it. I mean, it's up to you. Who do you think's to blame? I don't think there's anyone to blame. It was just one of those things in the end. And ultimately, they're going a different direction now. It's a shame because that was going to be a great movie. Balconator, Batman versus Deathstroke could give us one of the best combat scenes in live action comic book movie history. I think Ben would have done a hell of a job directing that. It's a big shame. Hardeep Singh, talk about Penguin HBO Max series because Colin Farrell concerns that series to be R-rated and he wants to smoke a cigar. Yep, I'm very excited about that project because that's how we find out his prequel story and how he becomes who he becomes. Creation K, also just to confirm confirmation, what do we call you? Your name or your channel name? Just whenever you prefer. Don't want to have to write man all the time. Lol. You can call me Mick. You can call me Mike. You can call me Movies TV Mad. Yeah, you can call me one of those. But you can probably Mick's a good one, isn't it? Creation great stuff, Mick. Thank you very much. Hardip Singh, Mike is cool. Mike, check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, awesome. Good one. Hardip Singh, laughing emoji. Creation K, ha ha ha. I think we'll give the stream another 15 minutes, if that's all right with everyone. Android 118XX, the Batman fighting looks like a downgrade from BVS Batman fight scenes, which is a shame. I'm not sure I agree with that. Creation Gate, mic check. Yeah, great. I think obviously the warehouse scene in BVS is sensational, but I think the fight sequences and the choreography in the Batman are absolutely outstanding. One doesn't have to be better than the other, but they can be different, and that's okay. I mean, come on. The brutality of that moment we've all seen, even you lot have seen it. Who are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance. That's fucking awesome. It's a great moment. It's just different. It's different, and being different is okay. Who are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance. Creation K. Also, I have a question. Why do people hate Ezra Miller as Flash? It's a mystery to me. Some people just get a mental block about certain things in films and stuff, and they go on and on and on. I don't know. I don't know why people don't like him. It's weird. Is it the way he runs? Is it because it's Ezra? Do people still believing the fake news about the so-called attack on that woman when it was just it wasn't an attack and it was just an April Fool's joke? I don't know what people's problem is. Broken Gaza Mania, we could do with Batman at Man United. Yeah, that would definitely be great. As manager, hey, Maguire. Who taught you how to fucking defend? Balconator, do you think The Flash will be a success? I mean, we had some moments where WB really hyped us up, but disappoint at the end. Listen, I'm confident about this movie, but you never really know about Balconator. You don't know. I mean, I thought Justice League was going to be amazing. I just thought he was finishing off the movie for Zack. I didn't think it was going to be the movie. I mean, obviously, I smelt a rat with the 2-hour runtime, but you never know. I mean, from what we've seen from the sneak peek, it looks sensational. The ideas for the film look sensational. It's a very exciting premise to try and fix a franchise by rebooting it within a movie. My suspicion is that this will be a good movie, but you never can tell. You can never tell. I understand why people are worried. Because of the history of the studio and the DCEU, but they know this film has to be good. That's the thing. You can't reboot a franchise if the movie you're rebooting the franchise in fails, isn't very good. So they would have thrown everything at this film. So that's why I'm confident. But we'll see. You'll never know. I think the movie people will be pleasantly surprised about, because people are not talking about, is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I think that's going to be a very exciting movie for people. Balconator, I have faith in the Discovery merger. Yes, I think that David Zaslav is a Bob Iger. I think he's a huge figure in this business. He hasn't got experience in the kind of stuff WB do. He's more documentary based at Discovery, but he's spoken to a lot of people. He will appoint the best people. And I think this is the moment Warner Brothers become the biggest studio and defeat Disney. I think this is a huge moment. Some patience is needed, but I think this is the best thing that couldn't happen, because I just don't feel AT&T completely knew how to run a studio. But this guy will get the best people, and this guy wants to make money. So it's very exciting. Yeah, I'm happy with that merger. And it's going to make Warner Brothers the hugest media empire in the world. It's the hugest merger of all time. So it's very exciting. It'd be very interesting once that merger happens, what Zaslav starts saying. Hard to see. I think fights are going to be insane in the Batman. They are. John Wick fighting style. Same team involved in the Batman and John Wick movies. Exactly. Ashley, me. Man United become Vengeance FC. Yeah, we certainly need something, don't we? Man United were always going to go this direction after Sir Alex left. It was always going to be difficult. Hopefully, we get the right man, we get the right people running the club. Who knows? Who knows? Christian Cave, Batman, get out my club. Maguire, what gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me? Batman, you can't defend. Imagine him turning up every day in a tumbler. Imagine if it's Christian Bale's version. And he turns up and he just gets in, he parks in Ronaldo's car parking space. I love that tumbler. That tumbler is so awesome, isn't it? Does it come in black? Total subject change. I was binging Friends. I woke up really early, 4 a.m. And I was binging Friends. And I tell you what, the humor is very, very... body shaming, isn't it? And lots of stuff that wouldn't be acceptable these days. Interesting. Balconator, but to be honest, even if the Snyderverse gets restored, it won't be that interesting if they won't make it canon. Well, I don't agree with that, Balconator. Of course, you're entitled to your opinion, but I think even if it's a self-contained thing that just finishes its arc, I still think it'll be cool. How do they do it, though? I don't know. That's the difficulty of it all. Balconator, to be... oh, no, we've read that. Creation K... Loiter, intimidate. Yeah. Broken Gaza Mania. Tumblr was badass. Oh, the Tumblr was awesome. He didn't even want a Batmobile. But it was a great idea to do the Tumblr. Tumblr's awesome. So we're going to stop the video at 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you've got about 8 minutes left of me. Here you are. Here's my Batman version. I'm vengeance. I'm Batman. Hashly me. I heard that the Batman fighting style used same Indonesian martial art like the Raid movie. Creation K. I've only seen the odd episode of Friends, but even from what I've seen, I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, some of the gags, wow. I mean, even I was shocked by some of the stuff. They talk about ugly women. They talk about women as objects, which is not acceptable these days. The body shaming. They talk about fat people. It's how they got away with it, I don't know. But even in the 90s, I suppose, we weren't in this kind of situation where people expect a certain kind of conduct from the way we talk about people and the way they look. Creation K, for context, Loiter Intimidate is on the screen of the Batmobile in the Dark Knight car park scene. That's right, yeah. Hardly seen. We didn't see Batbike of Robert Pattinson yet. They didn't even show in trailers because I'm a big fan of the Batbike, that Batmobile. Oh, the Batbike is awesome. Balconator, we will see more Batman than Bruce Wayne or more Bruce Wayne than Batman. Or is it's a balance? I think it's balanced, yeah, for sure. And I think that's the way it should be. You should have just as much Clark Kent as Superman. It should always be a balance, whatever character you're dealing with. Six minutes, everyone. 6 minutes. It's been a great live, though. I've really enjoyed it. We've covered a lot of subjects. It's been really, really cool. Broken Gaza Mania. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Batman's just so cool, isn't he? Balconator, did you see some flaws while watching The Batman? Well, not for me. I mean, look, nothing's perfect. I think John, who comes on here quite often and asks me questions on Twitter, asked me on Twitter, is The Batman the perfect movie? There's no such thing as a perfect movie. You know, anything that's made by human hands is going to have flaws. But I don't sit there looking for these flaws. So I didn't see anything in the naked eye that made me think, oh, I don't like that. I don't like this. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fantastic. So there's no such thing as the perfect movie. But I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll find flaws in anything created by human hands. Box Cooting. Is there ninja reference or stuff in this new Batman movie? Creation K. I've only been here for 10, 15 minutes, but I definitely appreciate your time, Mick. Thank you, Creation K. It's a shame I haven't got the voice and the energy to stay here for 5 hours, but I'm going to have to make my dinner. I'm going to have pasta tonight. Lazy man's food. It's always a pleasure to do these videos. It's great to connect with you all. It's cool. Hardeep Singh. Good night, Mike. Tomorrow the Batman reviews are coming. I can't wait. Let's hope everyone liked it. Bye. Peace out. Yes. On your way out, please like the video if you want, if you haven't liked it already. If you like me, like the videos, please, because that's how I get seen on the algorithm. I don't get enough likes, so I'm obviously doing something wrong. But yeah, if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, please like, please share, please subscribe. So very, very important. If you're coming here and you like what you see, apologize for the camera and all that, but still, you can see me, you can see what I'm doing. I'm talking here, you know. Broken Gaza Mania, it's cool to connect. It certainly is. Baconator, people are going to watch the Batman tomorrow. Are people going to watch the Batman tomorrow? It's the 28th tomorrow. I think there's a special fan event on the 1st, which is on Tuesday. So I think that's when people will get to see it. Hardeep Singh, I already liked it before. Creation K, looking forward to hearing your take and Mark Kamadi's take, if you know who he is. Yes, Mark Kamadi is a British critic, a very illustrious elite critic, and it'll be very interesting what he makes of a movie like this. Hardeep Singh, goodbye. Goodbye, Hardeep. Parting is a deep sorrow. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video before you go. Very important to subscribe, to share, to like if you like me. If you don't, then I can understand. Baconator, even how good the Batman is going to be, there will be always the annoying haters. Yeah, that's what you have to cope with when you're a DC fan, I'm afraid. They will come out. They will find some hot take. That's life on social media, I'm afraid. It's something we have to put up with. But I wouldn't get too upset about it. It's an irrelevance. It's about how you perceive a film, not how other people do. Hash Million Me, agreed. Perfection is the most boring thing. Yeah, there's no such thing as perfection. Broken Gaza Mania, gave you a like, pal. Thank you, Broken Gaza Mania. Really appreciate that. Well, the good news is Putin hasn't nuked us yet while we've been doing this video. That's good news. About a minute to go. Say something if you want. Ask something. I don't mind. Da 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 da. Da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 da 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 da. Balconator, any big latest news about the upcoming DC movies? I think there's going to be a lot of big stuff happening after the Batman is in movie theaters. I think some news is going to come out for sure. So keep it here because I will react to everything. It's very exciting. This year is so exciting. I can't believe what we're getting this year and what we're getting in the future. It's about time DC fans were given the treats and, everything they deserve, because we've had to be in the MCU shadow. It isn't very nice. I don't like it. You don't like it. MCU this, the MCU that. It's about the DCEU now. Let's get excited. Balconator, okay, thank you. I will be leaving since it's 12 midnight here in the Philippines. Bye, Balconator. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tomorrow with the DCEU Daily and the live video. Probably a bit later than normal because I've got a few errands to run tomorrow, but we will be back. Balconator, like the live stream. Thank you. Broken Gazamania, love the Batman Arkham games. Yes, they're awesome. Broken Gazamania, bye. Creation K, applause. Thank you. Applause to everyone. You've all been great. Your role here is to interact. If you interact, the live videos are better. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here gobbing off about shit, right? But if you interact and you take part of these live videos, we'll be doing loads of them, and it's fun for me and it's fun for you. So until tomorrow, I shall see you again soon. Catch me over on Twitter at Movies TV Mad as well. Until then, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. See you again soon.